Okay, there we are.
Yay. Okay, I just got it too. Yeah.
Yay. Okay, we are here with Alex, iSurvivor 37. He was a castaway on the Calico Tribe. A few nights ago, unfortunately, he was forced to walk the plank. Alex, it's been, 48 hours just about?
hmm
How are you feeling since your departure from the game?
Um, Disappointed, obviously, because I think it was just a lot of fun to be there. I really wanted to find an advantage because the first puzzle thing was so fun to do, but I was slow at it. So I think I was waiting to sort of hit the ground running because also we haven't been going to very many tribals. We haven't been, so to have it cut so short, it feels like even though I was there for a long time, pretty early since it was our second tribal. Um, I don't know. I'm not upset with anybody. I think this was a really, really strong group of people who I think any one of them could win. I wouldn't be shocked by any one of them winning. So it was I outsmarted, sure, but I'm not really that mad at myself for it. I know what I did wrong. I think I know where I went wrong, but it is what it is. I'm not I think I expected to be more upset than I was because I was being pretty competitive with this, but with the way I went out, I was just like, okay.
So, from your perspective, where did it go wrong?
So, well, let me start by saying this. I don't go pre-merge. That's not a thing that I do. I don't get touched. I pretty much, it's not that I'm under the radar. It's that I think if you had to compare me to somebody who's still remaining in the game, maybe Valiant. I'm somebody who everybody is aware of as a threat, but they save for later because they think they can get me out at merge, and most of the time they do, right? But in this specific case, usually where I go wrong is towards the late merge. I will over align myself and try to make too many connections, but none of them will be sort of mutual game beneficial connections. People don't make alliances with me, they make agreements, and that always makes it easy to vote me out at 7 or 6 or whatever, right? What happened in this game was I could have rode the people that I had, that group of me, Nolita, Valiant, Romeo, Julia, those people, I could have rode that to the merge. But because of reasons that I've talked about in my confessional, I didn't feel like the path that was going down was one I was comfortable going down. And because of that, I got in my own head. I started to try to, because there wasn't a strategic justification for it, but I tried to create one so that I didn't think I was doing something dumb. And then I second guessed myself too much. I mean, you can see me in my confessional going, Zach is the biggest threat. No, Julie is the biggest threat. No, JB. Picking between these 4 people who I had a good connection with because I had to justify that blind side. So that was number one, was if the circumstances were different, I wouldn't have jumped ship at all. And that was the first place that I went wrong. But the second place I went wrong was that whole day I was so confident that we had the votes, right? I said to every single person, we have 4, you need to grab the 5th. But really, we had 5. We had the 5 luck down. One, I only threw out JB and Valiant's names, and that made it really clear to people pretty quickly that Julia wasn't on my radar and that I had some sort of an agreement with Julia. And I even said that out loud to a couple of people. So that was probably something that raised a red flag for people and caused that target to switch. And the second thing was in that last hour, I started to second guess myself because I am much more of an emotional player than I think I am. And I had a call with JB, and the honest to God truth is I started to feel bad for him because he had come to me and been vulnerable about how he's been perceived in the past in games and whatever. So I was worried about that when I should have been worried about myself in my own game. And I tried to flip the vote onto Velian, who I also had a personal connection with. And maybe if the positions were flipped and he was the target to begin with and then he had come to me, I would have tried to flip it to JB. But either way, right, that last minute trying to switch it, trying to scramble is really what I think got me to be the target. And I think what happened in the end was I keep going over the numbers, and I think the only person for whom it would have been smart to flip back would have been Jazz. And if she did, I think that was brilliant, truly. Like, I think that would have been a good move if that's who it was.
Okay, well, obviously I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah.
All will be revealed soon. Let's rewind time a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go back to day one, or at least episode one. The twist is revealed. It's a pirate theme, two different ships. How did you feel about like the opening twist, that whole episode one? You're on Calico. Like, how did you feel about the twist, feel about your tribe mates, and then eventually feel about being on this dominant, force?
I think one of the things that I did well from the start, and I think people picked up on this too much because I was doing it too much, was I used the twist to my advantage in the sense that my role, I was towards the top, but in the middle of the pack. And my role didn't come with anything suspicious. I didn't have a chance to go to the village and talk to the other tribe. I didn't have the chance to jump around to different islands looking for idols. I wasn't the captain. My votes counted against me. So all of those things meant that I felt like there was something I could latch onto to throw some other people under the bus. I think I did that too hard, and that's what sort of blew back on me a little bit. But I liked that aspect of it. But for me, I'm pretty fickle early on about relationships. I tend to take a while until I decide this is a person I'm going to trust, just in my personal life. So in this game, that's where you see me being very, very wishy-washy in my confessionals about how I feel about each individual person, going from they're my number one to hating them and wanting them out within 20 seconds. So to have something consistent like that, where I could always point to it and always be like, well, I don't care how I feel personally about Jazz. She's always going to be the captain, so she's not really a consideration for me. Having something like that really did, I think, help me in those early stages. And I think if we had gone to tribal more, honestly, I don't think I'd be sitting in this position, because I think I would have been able to use that to level myself out. I mean, I guess I never know, but yeah, that's how I feel about the initial twist. I will say part of my like wanting JB out probably came from that, and like wanting to move up, because I was obsessed with like twists and advantages and wanted my hands on something. So that would have been the way to move up. But beyond that, I think it was more of a blessing than a curse to me personally.
Okay. So there was a moment in time where you and Jazz, based on, similar conversations with JB, similar perspectives on the game, would you consider her one of your stronger allies, Jazz?
That is such a hard question, because I think, so the thing was, I didn't connect with any of those three people that I was in the alliance with before I was thrown into there, which was part of the frustration for me, right? I was like, if I'm going to pick people on sort of that side of things, I was closest to Zach and Valiant. With Jazz, I think where the trust came from was, and I mentioned this in my interview and like my opening, like everything about my game, I kept talking about this, was we were useful to each other, right? She needed me to flip and I needed her to flip. And where that went wrong, I think, was the reason she needed it to flip was because she couldn't have Bree be voted out. So when the alliance, when JB and Julia were willing to vote for me, that's why I keep thinking she flipped. It's like there was no longer a need for her to shake up her game. Jazz and I were put in very similar positions. I think we were aligned with people who weren't in that alliance, and then being in there made us play the middle. I think her so more than me, and then I sort of approached it that way. As for whether I think she would have become one of my closest allies, because I really liked her. I think she really liked me, and we wanted to work together. But because there wasn't that personal connection beforehand, I don't think I don't think she would have went to bat for me. I don't think I would have for her either. I don't think there was reason to that early. So that's how I feel about that one, I think. But my choice when I won the advantage that could have gotten her out, and I went to her and I said, hey, I'm coming to you first with this. I had realized we didn't have a connection, but she was a good player and a useful one. And I was trying to force that connection. And I think she was willing to let me because I was useful to her too. But that kind of a connection is always less natural and less strong than what she may have had with even like with a person like Julia. Yeah.
So there's like the vibe around Calico,
Mhm.
like, dang, you should have lost a little bit more. And I'm pretty sure you said something similar in an earlier question.
Right.
And that's definitely like a narrative that's being, I don't know, like discussed on the Calico side of things of the game right now, right? So in hindsight, are there like any rounds or challenges that like you or talking to people during those episodes where you like wished Calico wasn't successful to possibly have avoided how things are going now?
Is it rude to say every round? Because I feel like when you go to tribal, you have control, some level of like, I know what's going to happen. And I feel like with the winning and getting gold and having the ability to like, it just, it drove me crazy to do that. When I play, I come from Twitter games, a lot of the ones where they're individual competitions, they don't leak your score. And I will throw a tribe competition. Like I will throw the puzzle pieces on the ground. I will do whatever to get myself into tribal because I know I can talk myself out of a hole. But because I think we hadn't built that culture of doing that where I could show people, right, before tribal, I may talk, but the people I'm loyal to backing me, it flipped on me really quickly when I tried to play like I usually do. So I think, well, if we had gone earlier, Venus still would have gone. I feel pretty strongly about that. But if we had gone the week after, I think reeling from that immediately would have really galvanized people in order to make this flip, with the exception of Romeo, because his game is really quite interesting, I think. I mean, I think that's all. I think I could have gotten the votes on Valiant if he wasn't there, honestly, because he just really has that guy's back, and I respect it because I don't play like that at all. I said from the start, the moment I met Romeo, right, like my first confession after meeting with him was, I really like him. I want to work with him until the end, but I need to vote him out because he's a better player than me. And I think that came true. I think the biggest, sorry, I'm fully going on a tangent, but I want to talk about this, so I'm going to, because
No, totally. I love
this
it.
is about me.
You're helping me out.
Yeah, no, I think the biggest, I don't think he can win. I think the biggest competition that he has right now is honestly Jazz, because after this vote, if she is as shrewd and as smart as I think she is, she can look at everything that just happened and piece together some of those. I hate calling them sides because I think it's ugly that these are the sides, and I don't have to get into that, but I think she can peg those alliances that span those sides. So something like Bree and I always get the feeling that Bree and JB have something secret going on. I don't know why. Or like the one I was talking about, which was Romeo and Valiant. Like if she can realize that that's what stopped that from happening, then next week, if they go to tribal and everybody's down to keep going down the totem pole, now that, I kept saying this is our last chance to flip, it's 5-4. It'll be 4-4 next week, even if Jazz wants to flip. But the one way she can change that is get the target for JB and Julia to be Romeo instead of Bree, and then Valiant will flip with her. Or get the target to be, you know what, like just don't get it to be Bree, get it to be somebody specific where you can flip somebody based on knowing about an individual connection. And I think if she's smart, she can look at the votes and piece that together. So that is the one sort of like wild card question to me. If she isn't able to do that, then the game is clearly in the 4 people I was targeting in their hands.
So, did you read up on what happened after you left at all?
I have not. Should I?
Okay, so once you left,
Okay.
an earthquake happened,
Okay.
forced the ships on land. They had to dock at the port.
Oh, they merged.
It crumbled. Okay, It is not emerged. They think it's emerged.
Okay.
So what do you think is happening right now that some of them are peeping it? Like, we didn't change the rules. We didn't do anything. What we said was when earthquakes happened, we need to dock for safety. Enjoy getting to know ye mates.
JB
Nothing
and Valiant are getting in
nothing
trouble.
about drop your buffs. What do you think is happening right now?
I think immediately JB and Valiant are going to get themselves into trouble just trying to connect with the other tribe. I think Bree might try to do that too, but I don't think anybody would blame her because she's kind of on the bottom. I think JB and Valiant are going to try and make too many connections on the other tribe. And if they go to tribal council again as Calico, they're going to have a huge target on their backs, which is just more credit to, I mean, the way that Zach and Julia play the game, because I truly think that those, I think Zach, sorry, off topic again, but Zach, Julia, Jazz, and Bree are my picks to win from my tribe. I know that's like half of the people, but I think it is pretty up in the air right now. And I think those are the ones who would handle a twist like that the smartest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll find out tomorrow, but obviously, everybody will find out tomorrow. The other pre-jury will find out tomorrow. I'm telling you, as the most recent vote off, so you're lucky you're like privy to information before it happens. So please, like, obviously, don't share it.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, have you ever heard of a game called Food Chain?
No, I have not.
All right. Well, and this is like an individual challenge,
Okay.
but it awards multiple immunity winners, up to 9, anywhere to like 1 or 2. Just depending on, there's 4 different rounds, and depending on who survives each round at the end will determine who wins. So it's an individual challenge. Whoever wins immunity, but there will be a double. Blackbeard will go to tribal council and Calico will go to tribal council.
Okay.
Who do you anticipate would be leaving from either side? Just based off, obviously Blackbeard based off of your opinion and vibe, and Calico based off of the dynamics that you left on and what you could possibly think could happen based off of, the land now.
The only thing I know about Blackbeard is that Benji will be fine and that Taisha will be fine. They're not getting touched at this type of a thing. And I also feel like they could win immunity. This twist does change a lot of things. I don't think Bree is in danger under this anymore. I think Nolita, like, her target just shot up a lot. Obviously, I still think JB's in danger. And I think Romeo might be in danger just based on this twist. I don't think he's going to like try to overconnect with the other tribe or anything. I think it's just like, if he wins immunity, he's going to be close to getting it. And I think he got it last time. And I think people will see that as a threatening thing. Because people keep saying that about him. They're like, oh, he's so sociable. He's so nice. And I don't think his social game is that up to speed. I think he's just a loyal player and a calm player. And I think people are threatened by that because my tribe is a bunch of like chaotic freaks. Like they're gonna psych themselves out about that. Yeah, so I think that changes who's in danger just a little bit. I hope Nolita doesn't get voted out, but I think that could be a risk because I don't see her winning.
You sort of answered this. Who do you think is playing a winning game? You said sort of Julia, or at least from your tribe. You said who do you think is playing a winning game, and who do you want to win?
I want Nolita to win. I don't think she's going to win. I think she's playing a great game. I think she's going to get far. I could see her making final three very, very easily. And I could see her game just being sort of undersold, underrated, because based on who is making the merge, we have a bunch of game bots sitting in jury. And I don't think her game has been at the forefront just enough to do that. But who knows? Like she could surprise me. She could have found 6 idols and done something flashy by now. Like we really don't know. I think she could win. I think Jazz could win. Yeah, and then Julia, and I always say Zach. I think my thing with, I was so convinced in my confessionals early on that Zach would win this game because he was the best positioned out of that 4. I don't think he is anymore. I think this flip totally equalized it because he was in a great place of being in the alliance without being in the alliance. And I think he's in the alliance now. So I think JB, like his social capital just went way up and Zach's went comparatively down a little bit. So we'll see though. He's smart. You know, he could still get out of that. But if I had to put up my money on somebody, Jazz or Julia at this point, maybe Brie. I think that one kind of depends on situation.
Okay. So looking back, what's your what's one of the things that you're gonna love, one of the highlights you're gonna take away?
I think Velian got suspicious of me by like day 3, but the first couple of days I was having fun, like getting the entire password out of him without telling him anything. It wasn't the nicest thing to do, but it was fun. So that was cool. But I think he caught on really quickly, and I think he's not stupid. So I liked that. I liked the 24-hour and like getting to laugh around with them. And I liked when me and Jazz were DMing each other during the first call with the Goats Alliance saying, we need to talk like the moment they're gone, like we need to schedule a separate call. We might not be able to tonight. And then they both left at the same time. I mean, those are the highlights, yeah.
And one regret, if you could go back and change it.
One regret. Well, my initial plan following the Venus vote out was to go to Nolita and Julia immediately and explain what had happened and you know why I thought a power shift needed to happen, where the connections were. I think that could have bought me a lot of trust, particularly with Julia, because I kept saying like I felt like she wasn't giving me much, even though I think we liked each other, probably because she saw me for the type of player that I am. But I think it would have been useful to have her fully believe that I wouldn't vote for her, because I think that would have changed the outcome of this tribal. So I think if I could have done that, I would have. Beyond that, I don't know. I wouldn't normally play the game this way, but I had a reason to, and I'm not really disappointed in myself for pursuing that flip, even though it failed. Honestly, I think every single person at that tribal made the right move, and so I can't really fault them for that.
Okay, and so maybe like I have 2 more questions at least.
You're good.
Might
I love
spark.
to talk. You're fine.
Okay. What are you gonna take away from this? I know it's cheesy, but like maybe in life or
Yeah.
in other games, you know?
Well, I'm taking a little break from games. This probably contributed to the paranoia and the freaking out of the last couple of days, but like I just had a situation happen in my life where I'm like, I'm gonna take a break. But when I do return, I think on Survivor 41, Erica said something about a social game is about connecting with a few people, not about connecting with everybody. It's about the right connections at the right time. And I think I need to prioritize that. I think I need to be more consistent about people. And I think if I can't get more consistent about people, then I should just talk to them more and feel them out more. I'm gonna pull a lot from the way that I play Big Brother and the way that Nolita played this game, and Romeo played this game, and just like sit back a little bit more and let myself feel people out and get a consistent idea of who they are and how they're going to play the game before I jump to those decisions, because I jumped to a lot of decisions that I then sort of backtracked on. So that's number one. Number two is I'm not gonna wait to find the idol. Like I feel like I should have just been looking harder. I could have really found it. I was stressed out about the password. The moment I had the password, it was like I needed to hit the ground running and grab that. I mean, because it would have saved me, right? So
Who do you think has it?
Valiant. I said that every single week in the game, but it was so weird. We were sharing every single clue, and then he just shut up. He just stopped talking. He didn't know the password. He doesn't know anything. Oh my God. Like, and then I was like, do you think it's at Seashells? And he's like, maybe. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, he had it. I really do think he has it. Julia does not have it. I think it's really funny that she tried to tell me that whoever logged onto the forum, to the Seashells forum, as Julia was trying to frame her. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's funny either way. She does not have it. The only other person I have any evidence on making progress towards it is Velian. So that's who my money would be on. And he is just like always on there. So, you know, like I wouldn't be shocked. Like I said, I think we played really similar games, but he was smarter. So, you know, I was hunting for it. I'm betting he was too, and he found it.
Okay. And any advice for future iSurvivor players?
Don't do what I did. Find the idol. That's one. If you go away and live in the woods for a weekend, come back and immediately start doing your social game again, and actually like make sure the people who you genuinely trust know that. Because if you're telling everybody the same thing, that's fine. But if there's somebody who you genuinely would not vote out and you're not just saying that, that needs to be clear to them. Because I don't think I was clear about that to Nolita, and I don't think I was clear about that to Julia either, because I hadn't really decided until the end when I had to vote for her, and I was like, oh, I don't think I can do that. So yeah, those are the two people I wish I had like solidified something with earlier. And the second thing is communication is a two-way street, because Brie and I, like that one call that we had towards the end, like genuinely, I was like, if I had started talking to you on day one, I think we would have been best friends. Like I think she's intelligent and so funny and blunt, which is just a really good mix for a Survivor player. I think she's gonna be super underestimated, and I'm excited to see what she does in the game, but wish I had connected with her earlier. So just don't neglect any of those relationships, and the ones that you really want to buy into, just go all in. Like actually do invest in those.
Who do you want to see join the pre-jury? Like Saturday night when Tribal Council happens, like who do you want to see stroll on in? Completely by
Yeah. I don't want to see JB there. But if they voted JB out, I would be happy, because it would be like I kind of got my way. The reason I don't want to see JB there is like personally, like I don't have an issue with him. If my target was somebody else, that's who I would wish would be here. That would be cool. I think Romeo being pre-jury would be really interesting, because I think a lot would have had to happen, and that would be super fun. I also like Nolita is the person I talk to the most in the game, so if she were pre-jury, that would be cool because we could keep talking. But beyond that, yeah, I hope they all make it. I hope somebody, actually, I kind of hope somebody sneaks Zach out. I just feel like I really want him to either, I want him to win, or I want him to be blindsided out by somebody who I wouldn't expect to have that in them. I want JB to like have put together a plan to get him out or something. It would just be crazy. Yeah.
We shall see. And final question. If in the future iSurvivor, we do rookies versus vets, we do fans versus favorites, second chances, all stars. Would you ever play iSurvivor again?
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Love to hear it. Alex, it has been a true pleasure. I said it in my
Yay.
speech, but you brought me back to when I was like your age hosting this, because like it was a lot of written confessionals back in the day. And so reading your thoughts, it just brought me back to like a good time in my life. I was like, oh my God, reading somebody's thoughts is so cool. So thank you for that. I'm gonna miss it a lot.
Yeah, I know. I just like I would do my videos and then I'd be like, well, I forgot so many things. And I have to say it somehow because I mean I would want to read that too. So that's just how I am.
No,
I
it's
think
funny. I would wake
better.
up. I would wake up and get my bearings on Discord, then go check the forum, and I would see an Alex episode, whatever, and then it was just like a great way to start my day with my coffee is read Alex's rants. Oh, I do have one last question. I promise this is the last one. Would you
Okay, no,
consider
you're good.
your Edgic throughout this season? You know what Edgic is?
I multiple times in my confessional, I was about to start talking about my edgic for that episode, but I thought it would come off like hockey. I think I knew that last episode when I recorded. Oh, my last confessional isn't uploaded. I need to do that. My last confessional, you'll see it, but like I think I might have even said in that I was like, this is like I was doing like complex negative stuff. I was doing a lot of like, I'm so confident that this will work. Like this is definitely, and I said like it would be really funny if it went from that to being voted out. Sorry, what's your question? Oh my God.
No, it was pretty much what do you think your Edgic would have been?
How many episodes were there?
You left the step, so
Okay. I think I got the pre-merge burnout edit just because I'm a lot. I mean it's the truth. I think I got a complex edit the day that me and Jazz talked. I think I got a complex edit the day I left, or maybe even like an over the top one because I was doing a lot of scrambling at the end there. And then between that, the ones where I was probably more under the radar, maybe like not the premiere, but like the second episode, the third episode where I kind of dipped down and I laid low. And I was just connecting with Valian and Romeo, who was another person who probably didn't know that I would never vote for him, but I would have never voted for Romeo. So yeah, probably that.
All right, like seeing your thoughts. Can't wait to release the Edgic card after the season. But yeah, Alex, on behalf of production, it has been a true pleasure. Thank you for taking Rocky's spam message seriously, applying and giving it your all and managing the game with your life and your commitments. Like it means a lot. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank y'all for having me. Y'all are really organized and just like really responsive and great. And you check in with people and it's very, very much appreciated.
Oh, thank you, Alex. And it's a pleasure.
Thanks, Alex. I love you playing a lot, honestly.
Rocky, I didn't even know you're here. Hey.
Bitch, you let me in. What, girl?
Really? I don't even remember that.
Now Val's here.
Oh shit. Yeah. So we're gonna harass you and spam you to join us at the finale and reunion. So yeah, be on the lookout.
I would love to see Alex's thoughts at the reunion.
Yeah, because I'm having a stroke. Throughout this interview, you've given me 3 bullet points to bring up at the finale. Like when secrets are revealed. So thank you.
I think I know what they are, but cool.
Dang, did I miss it? I'm so mad.
Yeah. No, yeah, this one's a lengthy one. It's good though. He gave us a lot of good stuff.
Well, crap. I have one question then, since I missed everything. I don't know if you answered it or not. Alex, I'm so mad at you. I was rooting for you hard.
No, I know.
You was playing in an amazing game. It probably already has been answered, but I want to know, leading up to tribal council, did you have any inkling feelings that it was going to be you, even after?
Were you in my Discord confessional? Because I was yelling about it's either like Julia is actually leaving or I'm going to be idled out. Because when Valian came to me and he was like, hey, you're voting for Julia, right? And I didn't know what to say. And then I realized Jazz had come to get me and then gone right back to the other Alliance chat where she was there forever. And I only realized that like at the votes when they were being read, I was like, oh shit. I think I'm just going to say it because it's the tail end of my thing, whatever. The race thing made me play a day 30 game on day 6. And I don't think I would have done as much as I did. But I think there was a smart way to do it because the numbers were set. And then I freaked myself out about idols and about this and that. And it just wasn't necessary. So I think that's where I went wrong. And I think I needed to lock in with a couple more people. I think I needed to be a little bit more open about, hey, this is actually the situation that's happening. There's this group of 4 that I was in. I think they're actually aligned with these people. We need to take care of that.
Right.
I didn't want to do that because I was afraid what would happen was Alex is a rat, let's vote him out unanimously. But that's kind of what happened anyway. So maybe the way I approached it with Nolita by telling her about the Alliance and then being like, here's what I really think is going on. Like, here's what we need to do would have been smarter. I don't know if it would have worked, but I think it would have been smarter for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely sad and heartbroken that you're not even in the game anymore. And hopefully we get a chance to see you again soon. Because you was definitely giving your all for someone who was clearly underestimated. And they seen you as a threat. Obviously, you wouldn't be sitting right here. But thank you. I enjoyed you, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you soon.
All right.